During my 3-week solo trip to Disney World, inevitably I overpacked. So today I'm going to tell you the things that you will not need when you go to Disney World to ensure that you don't overpack and you have more luggage allowance and space in your case to bring back all those Disney goodies. Last week I did a video all about the things I was super glad that I took with me because they came in really handy. And today I'm going to tell you about all the items that basically took a long haul trip over to America and just stayed in a nice hotel room at Disney World and didn't do anything. So these are all the items I recommend that you leave at home because you're probably not going to need them. So my first problem was too many shoes. I bought way too many shoes with me. I had 3 pairs of trainers. I had a pair of recovery shoes. I had some Crocs. I had some Teva sandals. There were so many shoes. This pair of trainers I wore maybe 3 times during the 3 weeks. My other pair didn't wear at all. So there was no point in me bringing all of them. I should have just brought 1 pair of trainers. And then I bought too many other shoes as well. What I would actually recommend instead is bringing just 1 pair of trainers and then 1 pair of sandals that you can strap up and wear in the rain because they're going to stay on your feet, and then something like a pair of recovery shoes. These are my Ufus. I absolutely love these. They've got this really thick sole, so they're so comfy. It's like walking on a little cloud. And these were the main 3 shoes I ended up wearing, and they covered everything. Trainers aren't great in rain, so these were perfect for that. For the days that your feet were feeling a bit fatigued, these were absolutely perfect. And when you wanted something a bit more sturdy, you had trainers. So be sure to not overpack your shoes. Shoes end up taking up so much space in the case, so definitely don't overpack them. But on the flip side, don't take just 1 pair of shoes with you, because if they cause blisters or they're uncomfortable, you then are scrambling to get new shoes, and breaking in new shoes at Disney is a nightmare. Just don't do that. So I'd say take at least 2 pairs of shoes, probably 1 pair of trainers and 1 pair of strap sandals. The next thing that I bought way too many of with me were ears. Now I love to theme my ears to my outfits and what I'm doing, where I'm going, but I ended up taking 5 pairs with me. I think 1 of them I didn't wear at all, 1 pair I wore maybe twice, and the others I wore multiple times. But as I knew was going to happen, I knew it was going to happen. I know myself, I should have trusted myself. I bought ears whilst I was out there. There are now so many different types of ears available, and it's inevitable you're going to see some that you liked. So I would take less ears with you and then buy some while you're out there. If you're like me and you knew you were going to do that, you should have just listened to yourself and done that. I'm sure this is probably not going to be a surprise to anyone, but I overpacked clothes as well. Now my problem is I like to emergency pack. I'm like, right, I've got all my outfits, perfect. What if I all of a sudden need to wear shorts one day? What if all my clothes get ruined in some sort of laundry disaster? I panic and I start packing things. I don't like shorts. Never wear shorts, hate shorts, don't think they suit me. Took 4 pairs, no point, literally no point. Don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? So I ended up with way too many clothes with me. Now I had planned for all my outfits and I didn't use the laundry service, although there were laundry services at my hotels, so I could have gone and done that. That is a great thing if you are staying in a hotel or a villa where you can do laundry. You can actually pack like half the amount of clothes you need, wash them halfway through your trip and then carry on. I didn't want to do that just because I didn't have a lot of time to do that, so I skipped over that and took all the clothes I needed. Luckily for me, using the packing cubes, I could fit loads of outfits in, so it didn't take up loads of space in the case, but it did just mean I had loads of clothes that I didn't end up wearing, and it was completely pointless them going on a little free trip to Disney to just sit in a hotel room and not get used. I of course also did buy clothes when I was out there. I got tons and tons of t-shirts. This is kind of one of my favourite pieces of merch to get because it's stuff that I wear all the time, such as I got this t-shirt in Uniqlo at Disney Springs, and I could have just worn some of my new t-shirts and saved space that way, but I emergency packed and took too many clothes. So something that is really easy to overpack is toiletries. So I took tons and tons of sun cream, medications, makeup, and I never used anywhere near the amount I took with me. Again, I was emergency packing. I was like, what if I get through a whole container of sun cream? Didn't happen. And the thing is, I know that they sell all of these items out there. So if I did need to buy any more sun cream or anything like that, then I could have. I think in future what I will do is just pack 1 of everything I need, and then if I run out, buy stuff out there. But actually things last far longer than I imagined, so I definitely didn't need to take as much. And toiletries weigh a lot, so they take up a lot of your luggage allowance, so I definitely will not be making this mistake again. Something that may be a bit of a surprise is a cooling towel. Now these are highly recommended. You will see a lot of vloggers say make sure you pack these, and I do actually think they're super handy, but I took with me a fan and I much preferred that. It was much easier to use. You could just get it in and out. You didn't have to keep going to the bathrooms to wet it, stuff like that. So I much preferred using a fan over the cooling towel, and in fact I never used my cooling towel at all when I was over there. Something else that's recommended a lot to take but I never ended up using was a power bank. I took it so I could charge my phone, and you do use your phone a lot more than ever now in Disney World because of course, as well as taking photographs and videos, you also do your reservations, your Genie Plus reservations, you can look up the ride wait times, all things like that. But I never ended up using it. My battery life on my phone lasted long enough. The only time that it could have become really handy was during the hurricane. So I did make sure it was fully charged so that if we did lose power, I could use this to power my devices. But luckily, because I was staying at a Universal hotel, they have backup generators and we never lost power. This one is quite heavy, so it was just in the bag, getting taken around, having a great time in the Disney theme parks, but it never got used, so it was completely pointless. It went on a nice little free international holiday, which we'd all love. This is an inanimate object and it didn't need to have a little free holiday. Something that I packed too many of was bags. So I had my main Cath Kidston backpack, which is what I use all the time, but I thought, oh, I'd take a slightly smaller one as well. And then I also took some handbags for the evening, and I just really didn't end up using them. The Cath Kidston bag I used all the time. I think I used this once or twice. I think I used a handbag in the evening once as well. The backpack was just so convenient because it was waterproof. I could fit everything I needed in there, including my camera and equipment. So if I was out in the evening and it was raining, a small handbag wouldn't have cut it. So it just ended up being one backpack. There was really no point in packing loads. The only good thing is in your suitcase you can pack these full of other things, so although they're taking up space they can be used, but in future I would definitely take that down. I did not need as many bags as I took with me. I think Coco Chanel used to say put on accessories and then always take one off, and I feel like that applies to packing as well. In future, when it comes to clothes, once I've done my emergency packing, start taking some of the items out. You don't need all of them. You don't need all your backpacks. Take some out. And I think Coco Chanel had the right idea, and for Disney packing, you need to use the same theory. Something I took with me because I was going solo was my Kindle, and I never used it. I didn't use it on the flights. I didn't use it in the evenings because there was always something to do. I didn't take it with me for the queues because at that time I was on social media chatting to everyone, so I really didn't need to take it with me. It's one of those things that it's nice to have with you just in case, but this is not the sort of holiday where I could kind of sit down and read. If I'm on a beach holiday, then I get through tons and tons of books. But in Disney, I'm always on the go. There's so much to see and do that you never really have any downtime to read. So this was something I could have left behind. Some other things that I brought with me that were completely unnecessary was tons of camera equipment. I bought little tripods that I could put my camera in and take photos. I bought an action camera, which I'd like to point out, this action camera broke immediately when I tried to use it in a water park, so that was great. But I just took loads and loads of things because I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to use this, maybe I'll need this, and I didn't use any of it. It was literally pointless. So again, it just took up space and it never ever got used. I think if you've got your phone, you might want to take a little tripod with you, but if you're going to be taking a lot of selfies, or if like me you have PhotoPass as part of your package and the Disney photographers are going to take amazing photographs of you, you don't need loads of extra stuff. Just your phone or your camera and you'll be absolutely fine. Something that I hear a lot of people talk about whether to get ahead of their trip or not is data add-ons for their phone, and I never used mine. Luckily for me, I'm with EE and I could add to my package for £10 a month. I could use my data that I already have with my plan in America. So I thought I'm going to do that just in case the Wi-Fi isn't very good or anything like that. Never ended up using it, didn't need it. I managed to use the Wi-Fi everywhere. All of the theme parks have free Wi-Fi, all of the hotels have free Wi-Fi. I really didn't ever need the data add-on, so it was nice to have it there, and luckily for me I could add it for £10. I know if I couldn't have had that data add-on, it would have been £5 a day, which is extortionate. So definitely consider whether you need it or not. I didn't once use it, so it was a complete waste of money and I don't think you need it. And the big thing that I regret taking, because it was so much hassle, was Too much luggage. I brought too many cases. I had 3 suitcases. 3. That is far too many. Nobody needed that many cases. I'm one person on a solo trip. So I'd never actually intended to bring 3 cases with me. What had happened is in the lead up to the trip, there was lots of issues at airports with cases not arriving at their destinations. So you were being advised to pack a few days worth of clothes and toiletries, stuff like that, into your case in case that happened to you. Now with my backpack, I had a lot of my camera equipment in there and I just did not have space to put any extra things in. So I ended up bringing this small suitcase. It was part of my luggage allowance, so it was absolutely fine. But because I had 2 big suitcases because I was visiting for 3 weeks, it just was a nightmare. Trying to wheel around 3 cases, not fun, not fun. When you're on a nice floor that's kind of like flat, absolutely fine. For some reason, airports really love carpets. Carpets and wheels do not match. So it was a nightmare trying to get around. And I would absolutely not be doing it again. It was unusual circumstances, so I don't think I would find myself in that situation again, but I would just find a way to make it work and not go through the hassle of having too many cases. I think the rule of thumb should be however many arms you have is however many cases you can take with you, and I've learnt that lesson. So I hope that telling you my mistakes when it came to packing will help you ensure that you do not make the same mistakes. You won't be taking things all the way to Disney for them to just have a nice little relaxing trip in your hotel room whilst never leaving it. There's no point in taking things all the way to the US if you could be saving that space and that weight allowance in your cases, because you just simply won't need these items. Be sure to check out my other video, which I will link below, just so you know the things that I thought was super helpful and really worthwhile packing, and it might be some things you haven't considered, so definitely go check that video out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.